You're off on a cruise, you lucky things. What's more, one of your ports of call is the beautiful island of Mykonos in the Aegean Sea. But what can you do in Mykonos in one day? How do you get from your ship to town? Is there much to see and do, or should you take an excursion? Sit tight and let us answer any questions you may have. If you don't know us, I'm Rachel, he's Wills, and we are Postcard and a Pint. So anchors away, and let's spend the day in Mykonos. Whatever time of the day you arrive, your ship will either dock in the new port, or you'll tender to shore. We docked, and this is how we started our day.
Morning!
Morning! We're in Mykonos.
Ooh.
Oh, a happy place for us. We absolutely
Been here a
love
few
it
times, haven't we?
Yeah. There's now a new dock for the cruise ship,
Yeah.
so we've chosen to walk in. It's going to take us about 40 minutes.
So they say.
So they say,
We'll
but
tell you if that's
it
true.
is early in the morning. But right at the exit to the port, there's a sea ferry, which cheekily on board, they didn't tell the passengers that, and they're charging them £5 for a bus.
€5.
€5, sorry, for a bus. No, £5.
£5 is it? Oh, yeah.
£5 for a
Whereas
bus.
€2 for
Yeah,
water taxi. Literally straight outside where the ship docks.
We are going to get the water taxi back, so come with us as we walk into Mykonos.
Yay!
Do be aware that there isn't a footpath for a lot of the way in. We were fine as it was very early and there wasn't much traffic. If you dock later, we definitely recommend taking the bus or the water taxi. You walk alongside crystal clear water. How long have you been walking so far then?
We're nearly there. We've been walking about 20 minutes, which is about right. We've been stopping to do a bit of filming and yeah, nearly there.
Once you reach this building, the bus stop, there is then a path all the way in. Incidentally, this is where the tenders to the celebrity ship were operating from this day, and also where the ship's bus dropped you. You'll always find a warm welcome from a Greek cat on a motorbike. You then get that first view of picturesque Mykonos Town across the bay. Whenever we used to walk into Mykonos, we always passed this boat, and there was always octopus
And squid.
hanging up to dry for the cash.
Flies on
I
it.
don't know if you're not allowed to do that in this day and age because it was a long time ago, but there's no octopus hanging up there today, but great memories. You are of course wrong, as it's considered a delicacy. People sit here enjoying their sunbathed octopus looking out to the sea. This is the town beach, and here we found this. Isn't that amazing? Accessibility onto this beach. You can get your wheelchair down, get into a sea chair and be taken out into the sea safely. Perfect. It's a really pleasant walk into town early morning. Bar deliveries, traffic is prohibited in the streets of Mykonos Town, and it's the perfect place to wander. Our first stop was the Old Port. Later, all these bars and restaurants will be full of life. Mykonos Town has many, many churches. All of them are beautiful and unique in their own way. Our first church stop was to be Paraportiani. Past the fruit and veg market, past the fish market. You'll have to get up very early to catch this in action. If you head past this church towards the harbour wall, which incidentally is where you'll catch the water taxi from later, you'll find some public toilets. Walk along, keeping the sea on your right, and then at the end turn left, and you'll find this. Paraportiani Church is one of the most photographed churches on the island. It's actually 5 small churches sitting next to or on top of each other, the earliest dating from the 14th century. The name Paraportiani translates as standing next to the door, meaning this church lay next to the castle door. This castle is being excavated at the moment. It's an absolutely stunning place to visit and well worth the short walk from the old harbour to learn some history and get yourself some amazing Instagram shots. Another famous site in Mykonos Town are the Mykonos windmills. The great thing about Mykonos Town is that everything is within walking distance, so to get to the windmills from Paraportiani, you can just continue to follow the coast around or be more adventurous and cut across town. Watch out for wet feet though.
We're going to risk it. Go as a biscuit. Come on.
Yep, we followed the coast and the sea was a bit choppy.
Oh, I'm slipping everywhere.
Dry routes are available in the street behind, but this was fun. This area is called Little Venice, but more about that later. We've got a small hill to climb and windmills to see. These 7 windmills are an iconic feature of Mykonos. There are more windmills on the island, but these 7 are the most visited. They were built by the Venetians in the 16th century and were primarily used to mill wheat. Just behind the windmills, there is a little tiny beach that not many tourists know about. Take it away, Wills.
Despite the hustle and bustle of the old town, there's still always somewhere quiet to find.
Cheers, lad. Now let me just get myself acquainted with yet another Greek cat and we'll have a last look at these windmills. Just for a heads up, one of the windmills has been converted into a museum and you can learn all about its history and how they work. What are we thinking of Mykonos so far, kids?
It's alright here, isn't it?
Love it! We walked back down to Little Venice as it was getting hot and a drink was needed. Let's take you to Katrina's bar. The bars along this part of Little Venice all have fantastic views. If you're here in the evening, this is the place to come to watch the sunset. After a quick drink stop, it was time to explore again. Here's a cool fact about the streets here. The streets of Mykonos Town are really narrow, there's no sort of order, winding, it's easy to get lost, and this was to confuse the pirates back in the day. But there's no need to worry about getting lost because it might have confused pirates, but Google Maps works particularly well. Another thing, it's beautiful and white and you've got all the blue mostly, but did you know the colour of your door and your verandas showed which job you did? Blue for sailors, green for farmers, and if you did something else, red. So go for a wander with full peace of mind. It's a lovely thing to do. And don't mind her, she's harmless. As well as the touristy shops, there are a lot of high-end fashion and designer shops. So if shopping's your thing, Mykonos is definitely your kind of place. If you're more Primark pockets like us, window shopping is fine. We just love getting lost in the back streets, happening upon secret bars and discovering tiny churches. Mykonos Town is home to 60 churches, so wherever you turn, you're bound to find one or two to visit. What do you say, Wills?
We love these old churches.
We both do. But now the day's cracking on and it's time to get something to eat for lunch. We said we'd tell you more about Little Venice, so let's make our way back there now. Remember, it's follow the water or use maps. This area of Mykonos Town is so picturesque, and it's also a popular place to get a bite to eat. There are more exclusive places, there are more quieter places, but for a view and a beer by the sea, you can't beat it. What are we having?
Tzatziki bread in Greece. It doesn't get any better than this.
It certainly doesn't. Some of us ate ours, some of us wore it. It's time to move on. If you've ever watched the film Shirley Valentine, you might recognise not only this area, but a lot of Mykonos Town. The beach scenes were shot at a resort not too far away, but Mykonos Town certainly featured in a lot of the film, and it still looks exactly the same. Talking of beaches, that's where we're off to next. Your cruise ship will probably offer a tour to some of the famous beaches, or you can catch a boat from the old port. We decided we'd just use the town beach, as we really fancied a swim. So after taking in some picturesque views, idiot, we set off around the harbour. It's a lot busier now. It's only a 5-minute walk from the old port to the town beach. It's so lovely to take in the sights, sounds and smells along the way. Don't forget to stock up on your liquids from this handy shop near the beach. Then just the other side of this church and building, you'll find the town beach. The water was crystal clear, and it was a lovely hour relaxing and swimming after a full morning of exploring. Some people enjoy watching the cruise ships. Others just like to soak up the sun and the atmosphere. Then there are those who are here for the Instagram. Whatever you do on your port day in Mykonos, just do you. Relax and enjoy every moment. Like this pigeon. Our port day times had been from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m, and we felt this was certainly long enough to get a great feel for Mykonos Town. As we said before, your cruise line will offer a number of tours. You could even visit the archaeological island of Delos yourself. But we think that if you've never encountered Mykonos before, just wander, immerse yourself in this beautiful town and soak up the atmosphere. Oh, and get to know all the Greek cats as you go. before you know it, you'll be starting to think about catching your water taxi back to the ship. Or maybe you could fit in one more drink before you go. Cheers. When you get back to the old port, tickets for the water taxi are well signposted. You buy them from a little kiosk and then you're on your way. We're on the sea bus, €2 each, a lot better than £5 in the cruise ship bus. This sea bus or water taxi stops at the bus stop, then a stop near your cruise ship, and then finally right next to your ship. It's a lovely way to return to your ship after your adventures in Mykonos Town. This was our perfect day in Mykonos Town. We can't wait to hear about yours. We hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. We've been Postcard and a Pint. Do check out our other videos for more cruise ship content, as well as day trips, city breaks and much, much more. Enjoy your trip to Mykonos Town, and cheers to the good times.